Good morning, students. I wonder whether you feel well.
Good morning,
Good morning,
doctor.
doctor.
Good morning,
Okay,
Doctor.
okay, thank you. Well, today we
Good
are
morning.
going to start we are going to start our lecture with your attempts. You remember last lecture we decided an assignment, and with this we can check what we decided earlier theoretically. We are going to see your own attempts in paraphrasing, and with this we can check. Now we have 117 students who already participated in this assignment, but still we have 48 students, and this is a large number. We hope that we need just to have all students to participate, because as I told you that this will be one of the daily participation for this course, and for sure it will be in on marks. So let us begin with Zahra Fahim. Zahra Fahim. Zahra Fahim. Is she available? Zahra Fahim. Okay, good morning, Zahra.
Good morning. Sorry. So Zahra, not here.
Well, this is the time of the lecture. I don't know whether there is a problem in attending the lecture. I believe that all the students should be present in the lecture. Yeah, tell me. Okay, if she will join, okay, we are going to see another student. Okay, we have Ahmed Hussein. Ahmed Hussein. Ahmed Hussein. Again, same thing. Okay, Amna Hussein. Amna Hussein. Okay. Ahmed Awad. Ahmed Awad. البنين. البنين. Okay. تبارك حامد. تبارك حامد. محمد وحيد. محمد وحيد. مريم عماد. Okay. Let us see your own attempt, Mariam. مريم عماد صباح. Mariam, can you see your own attempt here? Can you see it on the screen? Okay, at least now. Is it okay now? Okay. Do you have your okay? Do you have your own original paper? Is it available now with you?
Yes.
Okay. Now, can you read your own attempt? The original passage and then the legitimate paraphrase. Is it possible for you to read? Can you read it, please, Mariam? Mariam. Mariam, can you read it, please? Read the original passage and then read the legitimate paraphrase. Sorry. Yeah.
The master section to offer information is for expensive.
Yes. Well, be free, Mariam. Be free. Don't. Don't hesitate. It's okay. Read as simple as you can. Mariam. Yes. Yes. Well, Mariam, this is the the passage that you chose. It means that you are responsible for the passage. Okay. You remember, I told you just to be free to choose. You are not forced to choose a passage which is difficult. It's you to choose. It's not me. Okay, and that's why I ask you just to read, because this is what you chose. Anyway, if it is not possible to read, okay, I'm going to ask you about your own attempt. Okay, what do you think of the two texts? What did you do? What did you do? What did you do in paraphrasing? What did you do in paraphrasing? What is the difference between the original and the paraphrase?
I explained this original passage.
Okay.
And I did in the
Okay. In paraphrasing, and here we are talking about methods of research. Is it to paraphrase only? Is it to explain only, or what? You remember in the previous lecture we said something about it's not changing only. It is not changing only. There is something in addition to explanation. What do we have? Here we are talking about the process of taking notes. You remember? The things that we mentioned earlier, it's about what? Taking notes, okay, using paraphrasing. So here, what did you do once again? It's only explanation. What is the difference between the original passage and the paraphrase? Okay, I'm going to read it for you. The Malthusian theory of population is a theory of exponential population growth and arithmetic food supply growth. Thomas Robert Malthus, an English theoretic and scholar, published this theory in his 1798 writings, an essay on the principle of population. He believed that through preventive checks and positive checks, the population would be controlled to balance the food supply with the population level. These checks would lead to Malthusian catastrophe. Okay, so here, when we are going to move to paraphrase, okay, Thomas Robert Malthus was an English clergyman and scientist who published the theory of exponential population growth and arithmetic growth in the food supply in his books in 1798. Do you think we have some sort of difference here? And what kind of difference between the two? Mariam?
Yes,
Do you think they are Different, and what kind of difference? And what is the aim of paraphrasing now? You remember that when we are going to paraphrase, we are going, please, Maria, when we are going to paraphrase for the sake of what? Of taking notes, we are going to impose the information that we are going to use or utilize in our research. So it is not a matter of changing, it is not a matter of explaining only, it is a matter of utilizing the information in our own way to re-inform or reform the information for the sake of imposing the important information here. So what is the important information that you have in the original passage and you want just to impose it in the paraphrase form? Yes.
Paraphrase.
Yeah.
You must keep all the idea only.
No. Here, you see, Maria, with paraphrasing, it is not only just to keep the idea the same, because here it is not paraphrasing and that's it. It is a paraphrasing as what? As a way to take information from the original passage, to use it where? In the research paper. So we are training now just to impose, to recognize what is important in the original passage, to reform it in the paraphrase passage that we are going to make. So it is a paraphrasing for taking information. It is not just to keep the idea the same. So what is the important information? What does this passage tell? What does this passage contain as important information to be used? This is the idea. You got the point now, Marianne? Okay. Anyway, thank you. I need you just to be aware of paraphrasing, because it is paraphrasing for the sake of taking information. It is not only to paraphrase. It is not only just to keep the idea the same or to change words here and there. Okay. Let us see لقاء صدام. لقاء صدام.
Yes, doctor.
Okay. Okay.
Doctor,
Yes.
sorry for the interruption.
Yeah,
but,
tell me.
About the student,
Yeah.
cannot attend the meeting because she said, told me that.
Okay, why not just to tell me, directly. She can, chat me in the, let me say, Google Classroom, just to write a message to tell me, just like any other students, okay? So tell her for the for the coming lectures, if students want just to, take a permission not to attend the lecture, to tell me in advance, in order not just to write their names as absent. Okay, لقاء. Yeah, لقاء.
Yes, doctor.
لقاء صدام.
Yes.
Okay. Now this is your attempt. You have the original passage, and then you have the paraphrase. Okay. You can see it on the screen. Can you read it if you have the original paper? I mean, if it is available, yeah. Read the original passage first, if you can. Yeah. Starting from the 19th century.
Starting from the mid-19th century up till now, and Up to till now, schools and educational institutes base their evaluation of student intellectual level entirely on written exams. To a certain extent, it is possible to examine one's intelligence by exam. It is inadequate to measure the capabilities of the student through the method that is based on the ability of memorization by heart. Cramming the exam day is what many students do to pass the exam. They force themselves to save the information without need to understand it, because it is possible to get good grades by doing so. And this is the proof that doing well in exam does not mean that the student has grasped the subject fully and he understands it. It is only when he knows the information as copy text in his brain, and all he has to do passing the information on the exam paper.
Okay. Now, this is the original passage. I ask you
Original.
just to tell me what does this passage tell? I mean, what did you understand? You remember the first step in paraphrasing to understand fully the original passage. So what did you understand from this? What are the important information that this passage tell?
It is talk about
Yeah.
It is talk about the level of student. It is don't depend on memorizing just the information. It means the student to pass the exam, they should just memorize, not understand the information to pass the exam.
Okay. So in this, let me say, passage, okay, you recognize this information, this piece of information in your attempt to paraphrase. So if we check, let me say, your paraphrase, what kind of techniques that you use for your paraphrasing? What did you do? Is it changing words only? Is it changing the structure, or what? What? Okay. If we have some sort of comparison between the two passages, the original one and the paraphrase, what did you do? What did you do in your paraphrasing?
I just changed the word. I didn't change the arrangement of sentence and make an explanation of the difficult terms.
Well, again, it is, let me say, required to recognize the piece of information that we are going to have in the original passage, rather than just to change words or vocabulary. Of course, in paraphrasing, we do these things, but it is not the aim just to change only. It is the aim to recognize the important information, because it is a step to utilize it in a research. So it is not paraphrasing for the sake of paraphrasing. It is the paraphrasing to use the important information. As I asked you from the beginning, what is the important information? This kind of recognizing will tell you how to use this information and how to paraphrase for the sake of taking the information, rather than just to change words and vocabulary. You got the point now? So what can I find here? Okay, if it is to be compared, okay, it is only changing, but here it doesn't tell the important information that you are going to take, as I asked you from the beginning. You have the point now? So here, if you focus on recognizing the important information, of course your way of paraphrasing will be different. Clear, Liqa?
Yes, doctor.
Okay, so
Yes,
here
doctor.
this is not only for you, for other students, because I found the same thing. Okay, so changing vocabulary, okay, it will be I mean used in paraphrasing, but again, is that the aim? No, the aim is to recognize the important information, putting them in our own way, in our own wording. Okay, of course we are going to keep the same length, but here the kind of recognizing the important information should be clear in paraphrase. Now that's why I asked you from the beginning, because it is not recognized.
Yes.
Okay, Liqa?
Yes, doctor.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I'm
I
going.
beg your pardon, doctor.
Yeah, tell me.
I beg your pardon.
Yeah.
Doctor, may I be bold enough to request that you see my homework and discuss it,
Well,
if you don't mind?
Yeah. Let me. You see, I'm here
Yes.
to give chances for all students. Okay.
Yes.
But you see, I chose certain students just to give them points before having other students, because these things are read by me. This is one. Second, choosing
Okay.
students randomly make them all ready for participation. Okay,
Of
I'm not going
course.
to
I
focus.
get the point. Yes.
Yeah, so and that's why I mean the time for the lecture will be totally devoted for you all. Okay, those who want just to participate. But let us finish
Yes.
with some students, and then we are going to give chances for all students just to want to participate. Okay.
Yes, doctor.
I'm
Thank you
going
very much.
to repeat the same. I mean, names of students. They may be present just now, giving them a good time just to be available. Zahra Fahim. Is it okay now, Zahra? Zahra Fahim? Zahra Fahim? No. Ahmed Hussein? No. Amna? Amna Hussein? No. Ahmed Awad? Al-Banin? Okay. Tabarak Hamid?
Yes, doctor.
Okay. Tabarak Hamid Awda.
Yes.
Okay, just a second. Okay, this is your attempts. You have the original passage and the paraphrase. Is it clear for you? Can you see it on the screen? Tabarak?
Yes, doctor.
Okay. Would you please start reading the original one?
Okay.
Yeah.
Computer is the greatest gift and advanced intention of science. It is a useful alternative advices which can interpret computer and information quickly. First, a machinal computer was invented by Charles Babbage in the early 19th century. Our lives have been made so much easier with the introduction of computers.
Okay.
Paraphrasing.
No. Before reading your, I mean, paraphrase attempt,
Yes.
what is the importance of this passage? Of course, you chose it. Okay. When you read this piece of information, what do you think the most important factors or let me say information. I mean,
The important, the
does it carry?
important,
Yes.
the important idea in the passage, how invented of the computer and how important in your life.
So it is about the importance of computer. Okay. Let us see
Yes.
your own paraphrase. Okay, I'm going to read it. Okay. Computer is the most noteworthy blessing and progress innovation of science. You see now, even the choice of words, if we are going to consider, okay, you
Yes.
you change invention to innovation. Do you know the difference between the two, or do you know that they are different?
The same of the
Innova-
idea,
no,
but
no, 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 no. I'm going to tell you. When you say invention, okay, is different from innovation. You know why? Because invention is just to create something that is not found. While innovation, you are going to develop something that is basically found.
yes.
Is it clear? I'm going to repeat. Invention to create something which is not found. Invention. Okay? While innovation, you are going to develop. Innovate, it means that to renew, to make something developed, or let me say advanced rather than the original one. So innovation and invention is not the same. They are different. This is one. Then it could be a valuable electronic gadget which can disfer, compute, and data rapidly. Do you think that the words that you use, okay, are easier what is found in the original passage, or you have some difficult words, okay, that are used in your paraphrase? What do you think? What do you think of the words that you use? Is it simpler or more complex than the original passage?
The original passage, and I explained that with
You have to explain with simpler words. I mean, things that are to be simplified rather than just to have complex construction or complex vocabulary that you have. Then we have here the last paragraph. Our lives, okay, have been made so much simple. Just like the last line that you have in the original, our lives have been so much easy. Do you think that easy and simple is the same?
no.
I'm checking the vocabulary.
Some
I'm
words
checking the
are
vocabulary that you are using. Okay, so easy and simple are not the same. When you say something is easy, it is not something simple.
yes.
Because simple means that it is not complicated. Okay, while
Yes.
easy is not just to have something complex. It is to be facilitated. You may use facilitated rather than just to have simple, because simple sometimes carries the meaning of primitive or not developed. The other point now, this is the idea. Okay.
Yes.
And here, when you have the word again invented by Charles, okay, so you said designed, was designed by. It is not invented and designed are not the same. Invented, okay, may have the meaning of developed or created, okay, by. Okay, so here, this is the idea. So the choice of words, okay, should give the exact meaning of the original words that are used in the passage.
Yes.
You got the point now? It's okay. It's a good attempt. You did well. But you see, the choice of words should be considered, because we need just to keep the same meaning. It's okay. We are going to focus on the idea that we are going to take in our research, and that's why keeping the same idea is important. It's okay. Recognizing the important information, it's okay, but you have to be careful how to choose the vocabulary that suits the original passage.
Yes, Doctor. Thank you.
Is it understood?
Yes.
Okay, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Muhammad Wahid. Muhammad Wahid. Muhammad Wahid. No. Well, now I'm going to give the chance for students who want just to participate.
Doctor,
we need just to see Tabarak Ali,
yes, doctor.
and then we have Sarah. Okay, so let us see Tabarak Ali.
Yes, doctor.
Yes, Tabarak. So
Yes.
you have now something which is different. You
Yes.
have here
ناس
something
من
which is
نظرية
taken
King Lear
from
Shakespeare.
from literature, that is King Lear. Okay,
Shakespeare.
and then you paraphrase it. Okay.
Yes.
Now,
Yes.
before asking you, about the details of paraphrasing, okay,
Yes.
here,
Yes.
when you paraphrase,
Yes.
is it your attempt just to explain, or just to keep what is found in the original passage, and that's it?
My
What is your
idea
aim?
is to
What is your
easier.
aim in paraphrasing? It is just, it is now here the original passage is the forming of what? Of something which is taken from the play. So is that your aim? Is just to simplify what is found, and that's it?
When I read this lines in the first, I found it hard. So I challenged myself to read something to easiest to myself to explain the idea.
So,
and
so here you rely on yourself totally, without considering. But this is hard for you. You know why? Because sometimes the language of literature is hard to be explained.
Yeah,
okay?
I searched about the feeling of someone.
So how can you make sure that you keep the same original form of the text? Okay, so read it, please, and we are going to check.
The original
read the original, yes.
Yeah.
Read the original.
Though thinks it's much that this conscience storm invade us to the skin, so it is to thee. But where the greater melody is fixed, the lesser is the square felt. Doth sun appear, but if they fight line toward the region safe. Thou dost meet the peer in the mouth, the tempest in my mind. Doth from my sins take all feeling else, save what peace there. Thoughtful ingratitude. It is not as this mouth should tear. This is hand for lifting foot to thee.
Okay.
Can I paraphrase?
Well, let me ask you first.
Yes.
Is that let me say a speech of a character?
Yes.
Okay.
King
So
Lear.
is that to be addressed to somebody,
No, it
or
is
it is a
soliloquy
monologue? A monologue. You
monologue.
know, a
Soliloquy.
monologue. When you talk about monologue, it is something to be said individually, personally. It is not to be addressed to
Yes.
somebody. Okay. It is just like inside talk. You know, inside talk. That
Yes.
is, you are going to talk to yourself. So is it of this kind or not?
Yeah. Yes. I'm trying to
It
pass
is a
it.
monologue. Okay. Let us see your paraphrase now.
Yes.
Start reading it.
Yes. If you think this storm is bad influence upon me, it is not. When you feel much pain, the smaller one disappear. When you face the bear and the sea, and the way of the sea leads you to raging sea, so you will go to bear to protect yourself from sinking in the sea. The chaos inside me takes all feelings that I have except fearful ingratitude. How ungrateful are my children! They are like the mouth biting the head but feeds them.
Okay, very good. You see, if you check, I believe they are closely near, because here you are having uh,
Mix,
something just to what, to
mix between paraphrase and quote.
recognize the speech itself. Okay, and I notice here you have something to be written between two
Quote,
inverted comma
yes,
quotes. Yeah, and this is this is just what to keep the same uh, I
idea.
mean expression which is found here and there. But
Yes,
here the idea, if we
yes,
are going to summarize the idea behind this speech, so
yes.
what does it indicate, what does it show
About the character.
about the
He,
character and the
he,
speech itself? Because the
they,
character here
mm,
when we are talking about this,
yes,
okay, we need just to move to our job as a researcher, you know.
yes,
What you did is just like a literary man, you know, a literary man who
yes,
is going to what to explain, interpret, or exam simplify what is found. But if we shift this role to another role, that is the researcher. Okay, why to choose this speech, and what does this speech indicate?
okay,
Okay, this
okay.
is this is
This
this is
speech
what I
is
want to.
very,
Yeah.
this is a speech when I chose it, it's very influenced me because it's talking about the father who become crazy because of his daughters. He talking about how he is feeling hurt because of what they do with him.
Mhm.
So when I
So
take this, yes,
yeah, yeah.
when I take this, it influenced me, and I want to give the idea correctly to myself in the first because I didn't understand in the first fully. I need to summarize for myself, paraphrase it to get understand from full idea, and give it to the reader. I should think of the reader to easiest the idea to him because, as you say,
So
Doctor, the
this is what is to be written in the research when you are going to write a research about this character. Okay, so
yeah,
your own touches should be clear. Of course, you keep the original, let me say, meaning
mhm,
when you paraphrase. But here, it is not the aim to paraphrase, as we said earlier. It is
yes,
just what to take the information that you feel that it is important from the original passage, and
yes.
that's why I'm asking you what is the aim and what is behind this. This speech. Okay.
Thank you,
Thanks a lot. Thanks a
thank
lot.
you, Doctor. Thank you.
Okay. Let us move to Sarah.
Yes, doctor.
Okay. Okay.
I
You
read it.
have first. Let us see what do you have here in. I
I
mean,
take it
the
from
original passage is
curriculum.
about grammar, I believe.
لا
It's
لا
about grammar.
curriculum this is passage about the
Uh-huh.
approaches.
No, you chose something about methods of teaching.
Yes, yes,
It's an approach. Okay.
yes.
So
But
start reading the
yes,
original passage and we are going to see your paraphrase later. Okay.
the original passage, the grammar translation approach was used in a situation where the number of learners of foreign languages was small. Since learners' foreign language was a luxury and privilege of the well-to-do, and the practicing teacher were poorly trained, the direct approach was made necessary by the increasing in the size of class of foreign language, and when teachers of foreign language receive better training for their jobs.
Okay. Now, in the original passage, okay, what
Yes.
are let me say, things that you feel that they are important, or what does this passage indicate?
The important thing, the approach is which is used for foreign language learners and the number of learners,
Number of students, okay,
our students.
in
Yes,
classes, okay,
yes, yes,
and it is a matter of comparison
yes.
between two approaches,
Approaches.
okay.
Yes.
Okay, so let us see your, I mean,
National
paraphrase
paraphrase.
attempt. Yeah, read it, please.
As the size of foreign language classes increase and foreign language teachers receive better job training, direct method become necessary. When the number of foreign language teachers is small, grammar translation strategies is used and practical teachers aren't well trained because learners foreign language is a privilege and for the wealthy.
Okay.
Yes.
So what did you do here in your paraphrase?
I change the order of the sentence and
Okay.
make the
What is the aim? What is the aim? We said earlier we want to emphasize
on the
the
important thing. Yes,
information that we
yes,
are going to take in order just to be utilized in your research. So
yes,
here, what is the aim behind this? It is well the number of students.
yes.
Okay, okay. So this is one. Second, if we have comparison between two approaches, is it I mean, clear in your paraphrasing or not? Do you think
Uh,
we have comparison or not?
yes, yes.
So what is it?
Uh, between the direct approach and grammar translation.
I know, but where is
Yes,
it in
yes.
your paraphrase? What did you do just to recognize this comparison?
I clarify the idea of each approach.
This is okay, but this should be clear when you say as compared with, just like this. You can use this expression in
Compare
comparison with. Sorry,
the word compare I use.
you know why? Because the idea of comparing is found originally in the I mean in the passage, okay, that
Yes,
you chose, and that's
yes,
why you have to use certain expression to recognize this comparison, and
yes,
that's why we are talking about the new I mean way of recognizing the information. You have two things to recognize. That is
yes.
what the number of students, okay,
And the approaches. Yes,
and the comparison between two approaches. Okay,
yes, yes,
so it is a matter of reforming these things or reconstructing the information in the way that you are going to recognize these two factors.
yes,
Is
yes.
that okay? So
Okay.
here again, we emphasize that we are not only just to change or to keep the same meaning, but we want just to recognize the piece of information, because we have another step. That is, we took information for what? For using them in our research. And that's why we are here training. It is not training just to paraphrase. It is paraphrasing for using information in another way of using the same idea, but in another way of writing. It is
Yes,
not.
yes.
It is not. Shifting only the information, but to recognize the factors that are found. Thank you very much, sir.
Doctor, I have a question.
Yeah, tell me.
You say we take the important idea from the passage and we make a paraphrase on it. How to keep the number of the sentence when we take just the main idea
It is
and
not.
paraphrase in our
It
style?
is not just to take of course, we are going to keep the same length. That is that is what is required in paraphrasing.
Yes.
Because in the way that we are going to recognize paraphrasing from what? Summarizing. Because with summarizing, we are going to have the the main ideas that are found and to summarize it. But in paraphrasing, it is not to take only the important information, but to recognize that this is the idea. Okay, keep the same length, keep the same meaning, but to recognize these things, to recognize the information. I'm not asking you to delete other information. Keep them as they are, but to recognize it. What does it mean here? To refer to things that you feel that it is important to use it in your research.
Focus on important points.
In recognizing
Yes.
the important points, it doesn't mean that we are going to delete the other information that is found in the original passage. We are going to have them as they are, but we are going to reform, to reconstruct the original passage in our own wording, recognizing the important factors and putting them in another way to be clear for us to use them in our research.
Yeah, yeah.
This is the aim. Okay, this is the aim.
Nice.
It is not paraphrasing for the sake of paraphrasing.
Yes.
You see now, it is a matter of, let me say, of wit, or let me say cleverness. As I said earlier in the previous lecture, that is to keep what is found, but to recognize, to make them clear, okay, to impose things that we are going to use it in our research, because here the original passage will not be the same, because it
Yes.
will be taken to be written in another form. That is what in our research, and that's why we are still in the process of taking notes. If you remember,
Yes.
still we are not writing, still we are not doing something. In our research, still we are taking notes, but using paraphrase. By using paraphrase. This is
Okay,
the-
thank you, Doctor. Thank you.
Okay.
It's clear.
Let us see any other students who want us to participate. Ola Aziz.
Yes, doctor.
Okay, let us see Ola. Yes. Can you see, Ola, your own attempt here on screen?
Yes, doctor, I can see it.
Okay. Okay. Please read the original passage in
Yes,
order just to understand what is it. Yes.
yes. One of the most frequent problems the language learners go through is comprehension. Despite of the good vocabulary knowledge, they struggle a lot to understand the native speakers. However, speaking the language which is completely different from your native one is probably much more challenging because it involves both cognitive and motor skills. In other words, you have to think and act at the same time. That's why it takes non-native speakers a great effort to become fluent in the foreign languages.
Very good. If I ask you now, what is it about? I mean, when we are talking about the original paragraph that you have,
Yes.
what does it contain? What does it? I mean,
Yes, the main point it
include?
discusses.
Yeah.
Yes, the main point here is the comprehension, which is the most difficult or difficulty language learners face. They face two problems concerning comprehension. First, understanding the native speakers, and then speaking and engaging in conversations with the foreign and native speakers. Yes.
So here, these things should be emphasized in your
Yes.
paraphrase paragraph. Let us see your paraphrase paragraph. Read it, please, and we are going to check. Yes.
Of course. Comprehension is one of the most recurring issues for language learners who, despite having a good amount of vocabulary, face difficulties in understanding the native speakers. However, speaking a foreign language fluently proves to be a lot more difficult for those learners, as it includes using the cognitive and motor skills through thinking and acting simultaneously.
Okay, very good.
Yes.
So here you recognize the main idea, which is found.
Yes, I did some fronting
Okay.
in order to give it emphasis.
Reform it in the way that it is clear now, because here,
Yes.
if you read the first, original passage or paragraph, you are going to conclude that, but it is not clear. It is not clarified, just like the way that you did in your
Yes.
paraphrase paragraph. Okay. What is your technique in paraphrasing? What did you do? Is it only grammatical changes, vocabulary changes, or what?
No, in fact, I did change in words. I did a change in structural and grammar structures. I also connected the ideas. The sentences were separate, and so I joined them in order to join and connect the idea and give emphasis to the second problem. I found that he focused on the problem of speaking more than the problem of understanding, because speaking requires using both skills. So I put it in a separate sentence in order to give it the emphasis. I also noticed that there were a lot of use of repeated and similar expressions like foreign language, non-native language speakers. So I decided just to shorten it and use one expression instead of repeating it over and over, just for the sake of simplification. Yes.
Very good. I believe that, you see now, when you are going to read the original passage in any field, okay, with each reading will give you, or for a single reading, if we are going to have, let me say, one way of reading, that is the first reading, okay,
Yes.
it will not be enough to conclude. How many times that you read the first, let me say, original paragraph to conclude these things? Is it for the first time, or still you think of it and then you concluded what is important? Is it clear is it clear from the first time of reading, or
Yes.
it demands second reading just to recognize what
I grasped the idea of comprehension from the first reading, but for the other issues, problems, it required me to read it a second and the third time,
Yeah,
and I think
that's
it is
why-
very important.
And that's why we emphasized previously in the, previous lecture, if you remember, we said that unless you understand the text fully, you cannot paraphrase. And
Yes.
once again, we emphasize that we are paraphrasing not for the sake of paraphrasing, because this is not our job just to paraphrase and that's it. Paraphrasing is the tool for taking information.
Yes.
Still, we are saying that we are taking notes, and taking notes, we are going to use paraphrasing as a tool for getting the important information and reform it in our own way or in our own style. Thanks a lot, Ola. Thanks a
Thank
lot.
you very much, Doctor. Thank you.
Batul Assam. Batul Assam.
Yes, doctor.
Okay.
Yes, doctor.
Okay.
Good morning, doctor.
Good morning. Okay. Let us see your attempt. Yes, Batul. Can you see your attempt now on screen?
Yes, doctor.
Yes. Start reading it, please.
Yes, doctor. Doctor, before I read
Yes.
my topic,
Yes.
I want to say I chose this topic, paraphrase,
Yeah.
because I wanted to clarify my understanding of paraphrase.
Very good. Very good.
And
Very good.
I wrote many, and I wrote more than one topic, but I choose this topic because I see the paraphrasing is more important than all topic, because it's so important for myself and my friends, because we explaining today in today's lecture. So
Yeah,
I
very good.
choose
Very
it.
good. Paraphrasing, has 90% of writing any research paper. You are going to use this way, okay, in writing your research from the beginning till the end. And that's why it is emphasized. And once again, we are emphasizing the point that paraphrasing is a tool now. It is not the aim. That is what we use it to take information, but in our own way or style, in our own structure that we are going to change the original passage into. Yes.
Yes, doctor.
Start
Can I
reading.
read it?
Yeah. Start reading, please.
Yes, doctor. Doctor, in original text, paraphrasing is writing down another's ideas in your own words. It is simply substituting the author's exact words with synonyms. A successful paraphrase is different from the original text in vocabulary and style, but still contains the author's main ideas. Paraphrasing is not a direct copy of the text. If you directly copy the text without including a citation, you are plagiarizing.
Okay.
The
Now,
paraphrase.
yeah. Here, if I ask you for the original text that you chose, is it paraphrasing here just to be emphasized, or paraphrasing to be explained as a tool in research, in writing research paper? So what did you understand from the original text? Is it just to emphasize paraphrasing as a process, or to emphasize the paraphrasing as a tool for taking information for the research paper? What did you understand?
Doctor, about choose the paraphrasing?
Here, the original paragraph that you chose.
Yes.
Does it does it indicate the importance of paraphrasing as a process for paraphrasing and that's it, or it's emphasizing the role of paraphrasing in research writing? This is what I need you just to explain. What did you understand from the original text? What is the important information that we have here in these lines?
Yes, Doctor. Paraphrasing, it's very important to anyone when he or when someone want to paraphrase any topic. He or must have.
Batul, let me help you. Here in the original text, okay, what is emphasized is the techniques of paraphrasing. That is what do we are going to do? Substituting words, using synonyms, okay?
Yes, Doctor.
This is the idea, okay? And it is to be emphasized that it is not a direct copy. If you directly copy without including citation, you are here. Plagiarism, what does it mean? It means that we are going to use paraphrasing without full documentation, without mentioning the resource. And this is just to say that this is our information, but in fact it is not. So here, paraphrasing is just like quotation, but with quotation we are mentioning things exactly as they are. But with paraphrasing, we are using our style, but still we need to have full documentation for the resource. That is what is mentioned in the original text.
Doctor.
Is it okay? So briefly speaking, here in this paragraph, we are having the explanation of the techniques of paraphrasing. Yes. Yes, Dan.
Yes, Doctor. Why we paraphrase many topic? Because many topic or many thing the reader don't understand what these words mean, or don't understand what's the line. So I'm paraphrase to the reader to understand what these lines mean. Paraphrase is very important to myself in study. When I read something in drama, in grammar, in any subject, in any object, sorry, I wanted to understand what this means. So I paraphrase this and I change the vocabulary. If it's very difficult, I change this words in simple words and change the tense in from active or any tense present.
Yes.
Or
this is your explanation. Let us see your paraphrasing. What did you do? When reformulating any topic, several important things must be taken into account. Read the topic and comprehend it. No, I'm going to read it for you. Read the topic and comprehend it well, so that you can express it in your own words. Replace difficult vocabulary with easy ones. Change the time of the sentences. One of the most important things to pay attention to presenting and meaning the basic idea of the text to reformulate it. Here, I believe that you here you wrote something that is not found in the original passage. That is what I mean. Change the tenses or something like that. Here we explain
in sentence,
but we are not going to add something that is, no. My point for you here, Batul. You wrote something in your paragraph that is not found in the original passage. You add something here. Paraphrasing doesn't mean that you are going to add. You explain, yes, but you are not, authorized to add something that is not basically found. The other point now, if you compare between the original text and paraphrasing, you are going to see that there is some sort of addition. You add something that is not originally found in your original text. The other point now, keep the idea the same. Yeah, simplify, but do not add.
Doctor, in last year,
Yeah.
Doctor, in last year,
tell me.
Dr. Saad said to us that in paraphrase we can explain something if we see it's necessary. So I added something because I want the readers to understand what I mean.
Okay, as I said, still we are in the process of paraphrasing for the sake of taking information. You remember still here in our previous lecture, we are talking about paraphrasing as a way of taking notes. For here, what you said is about paraphrasing. It's okay, it's correct, it's right to say that we are going to add, but still it is not the process of taking information. Still you are taking information from the resource. This is what I want you to understand.
We must we should keep the main idea. Don't change this.
Later on, you see now, you have to know that in taking notes we use paraphrasing, and in writing your research we use paraphrasing. So paraphrasing will be used twice. Once to take notes, and the second type, that is what when you write your own research. But still we are not writing, we are taking notes only, and that's why we have to keep the same let me say ideas that are found, but in a new construction, imposing or recognizing what is important.
In symbol, Doctor, in symbol form.
Yeah. We said this for sure. But what do we need? We need just what to take information, not to let me say write it now. With writing the piece of information later, when we are going to write our own research, it is possible to add. Here my point, addition is not required in taking notes. This is what I need you to understand. So is that okay?
Doctor. Yes, Doctor, it's clear. Doctor, and when I review my assignment, paraphrase, I see a mistake. So I want to to say sorry about this mistake.
No, it's okay. Still, it is an attempt. Mistakes are expected here and there. Okay, but it is good for you to try, because mistakes are expected. Still, we are learning.
Doctor, maybe I have mistake because I write the original text and I paraphrase this.
Anyway, thank you so much, Batul, because I believe that when you are trying, you are discovering something. This is 1 second. What we need to emphasize that paraphrasing in this, let me say, stage, it is related to taking notes only, not for addition. Addition will be considered when we are going to begin writing the research. Is that okay?
If the information don't need any added, I must keep the main idea and don't add anything. Thank you so much.
Addition will be considered later. Thanks a lot. Tabarak Aqil?
Yes, Doctor, exactly.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
May I participate, Doctor?
Yes, doctor.
Well, still we have time, and let us see Tabarak Aqil now.
Yes.
Okay, doctor, we are in another group, so
Yeah. I'm going to check later the second link. Okay, I'm going to, yeah. We have Sausan Hussein, we have Zainab Ahmed. Yeah, I'm going to take them after Tabarak. Tabarak, can you see now
Yes.
your own attempts on the screen?
Yeah, I can.
Okay. So start reading it, please, if you don't mind.
And I
Yeah. Read the original passage, please. Tabarak. Tabarak. Yes, start reading, please, if you can.
I phrased it. I rewrite the information. Yeah.
Read the original
Sorry,
passage, please. Yeah.
Forget.
Read the
The
original
first
passage.
intimation that things were getting out of hand. Yeah, I read it. The first intimation. The first intimation that things were getting out of hand came on every fall evening. In the late 1940s, what happened simply was that between 7 and 9 o'clock on the evening, the Tripura Bridge had the heaviest restriction of outbound traffic in its entire history.
Okay, now if I ask you, Tabarak, what pieces of information does this passage give? What is it about?
Yes.
What is it about? I mean, what does this contain? What do we have here in this passage?
Yeah.
I believe that there is
that happened for the first time in the human history. It is about a bridge that was a really heavy crowd of traffic.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you believe that this is the important information that you have in the original passage, okay? So what did you do in your paraphrased passage? What did you do?
Yeah, and paraphrased, and as soon as the autumn in the late 40s of the 19th century, and specifically between 7 and 9 p.m., when things went out of control, a phenomenon that never happened before in all the human history. The Tripura Bridge witnessed the heaviest concentration of outbound traffic on the evening.
So what kind of changes that you made in your paraphrase passage?
Yes, doctor. I write the same information in a different way. It helped me better to integrate the idea into the pace I am writing.
So you mean you keep the same information, but you rearrange them in the way that you emphasize.
Yeah, but in different
something.
way.
What is to be emphasized here?
Yeah, I emphasize it's the important idea. It's about something that has happened for the first time in the human history. It is about a bridge that witnessed a really heavy crowd of traffic.
Very good. So here, I believe that you are succeeding in emphasizing the idea that is found, but here you are, I mean, concentrating on the idea itself rather than just what to, I mean, change the vocabulary. You feel that it is not necessary to change the whole vocabulary that is found, because yeah, it is not the idea of changing words only, it is the idea of emphasizing the piece of information, because it is required to recognize these things rather than just to change for the sake of changing. Anyway, thank you, Tabarak.
دكتور.
Well, let us see Sausan Hussein.
نعم دكتور.
Okay.
Doctor, sorry, the net is very weak. I can't hear you.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay, Tabarak. It's okay, Tabarak. Sausan Hussein? Okay. Now I believe that you can see the text that you have. Okay, start reading it, please.
The original text.
Yes.
Features a body of written works. The name has traditionally been able to this imaginative form of poetry and prose, distinguished by the intention of their authors and the perceived aspect, excellence of their execution. Literature may be classified according to a variety of systems, including language, for example.
Okay. Now, if I ask you, here in this text, what are the important information that you discovered?
The literature definition and what is consist.
What does it? What does it include, or what does it consist of? Okay. So here, these things should be emphasized in your own paraphrasing. Let us see. Yeah. Let us see your paraphrasing. Literature
set of composite words.
Literature is. Sorry, literature is a set of composed words. Yes. Yes.
The inventive work of verse and prose, which characteristic of the aim and thinking of their writer, and the stylish brilliance of their execution, are the works which this name literature has traditionally been able to it.
Applied to it, yes. Applied to it, yes.
The literature divided agreeing different systems such as language.
Okay. Well, it's a good attempt, but I believe here the way that you tackle the definition, okay, I mean, just like when you are defining science, okay, or you see when we are talking about literature, okay, we need just to use I mean, certain expression in the way that we are not going to define things just like science, okay? It is not just like chemistry, it is not just like mathematics, okay? There is something just to be used, okay? It would be okay. You succeeded to emphasize the factors that are found, but it is related to your style. It is a way to represent what you have, but in another let me say developed or let me say in another style, in the way that the word literature should be defined differently. Because here, if you are considering your own way of definition, it is just like defining any other science rather than literature. Okay, so it is not a matter just to say that it is a component or it is a set of something. Okay, it should be rephrased in the way that you are going to define literature rather than, let me say, any other science. Got the point now? You succeeded. You succeeded. You succeeded to emphasize the important factors, but the style should be a little bit different from what is found here. Because if we read these things, we are going to see that it is empty from the literary, let me say, expressions that should be used. This is my point for. But still, I say that you succeeded in, representing these, information. But you need another developed or advanced style that is suiting literature.
Yes.
Okay, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Let us see.
Dr.
Shahad Ahmed. Yeah, please.
Can you see my homework, please?
Okay, let
After
us see if we have. Yeah. You see now, in order just to be fair with the two groups, because we have two links, so I'm choosing from here and there. Okay. So if it is okay, just to wait if we have time. And by this, I thank you all, because I believe that you are eager to participate, eager to check your own attempts. Okay, but you see now, still we are bound with the time. We have only minutes to finish with the lecture. So let us see, Shahad Ahmed. Yes. Let us have your own. Shahad Ahmed, yes. Yes. Now, are you okay now, Shahad? Can you see your own attempts on the screen? Yes, please. Yeah. Start reading the original passage.
As Australia marks World Teachers' Day, a new survey report released to coincide with the celebration shines a light on school educators' passion for dedication to their profession and lifelong learning. But it also reveals how the job is taking a toll on their well-being.
Okay. Now, when we read this passage, what kind of information that we are going to have? What is it about?
This passage focuses on the report. It's in celebration on the World Teachers' Day in Australia.
In Australia. Okay. So here you are going to recognize these things in your paraphrasing. Let us see your paraphrasing. Read it, please. There is a new.
Yes. There is a new audit report released to coincide with celebrations that held at the World Teachers' Day in Australia. This report focuses on school teachers' passion and dedication to the profession and lifelong learning, but it also reveals the impact of the job on their well-being.
Okay. So what did you do? What is your technique? What is your technique in paraphrasing? What did you do? And remember, Shahad, remember that we paraphrase to take information, to take notes. Okay. So what did you do? Yeah.
Actually, I'm trying to arrangement on the structure of the sentence, and I change some of the word and focuses on the idea of this passage. That is of report, focus on school, teacher, fashion, and education. So that's what I'm saying.
So you emphasizes the idea that we have, but in the way that you change the structure, you use certain vocabulary that is that you feel that it needs to simplify. And this is what I need just to mention here. When you choose the vocabulary to change the vocabulary that you feel complex, that is not to be understood when it is to be read. So here, when you change vocabulary, when you change, or when you are going to use synonyms, okay, use the words that is common, that is, widely understood, rather than just to change for the sake of changing. So when we change only, it means that it is not paraphrasing. In paraphrasing, we need to simplify, we need to explain more, but in, let me say, in a way that it is not for changing, it is for taking information. And that's why these information should be recognized rather than in the original passage. And I believe that you succeeded in this in your own attempt. So thanks a lot, Shahad. I believe that you are doing well. Let us see Abdullah. Abdullah Yasin. Abdullah Yasin.
Good morning.
Good morning. Yes.
Yes, doctor.
Well, we are waiting for your attempt just to be, in the screen. Yes, you can see now this.
Yes, I see it.
Yeah. Read the original text, please.
Yes. So first of all, I choose this passage which wrote by Anderson and Paul.
Yeah.
I believe it is related to our material.
Yeah, it's okay. Very good. Yes.
Yes. For the original text, another useful method for locating source material, particular topic, is to check the library shelves or catalog for books having the same classification number as other books to which reference has been made.
Okay. And so here in this short paragraph, we have an explanation of what?
We have a certain idea that conveyed maybe to the researcher who is trying to find more details, more information.
So here, briefly speaking, this short paragraph tells you how to find your source in the library. This is briefly speaking the library tour. How can you use library?
Yes.
This is okay. Okay. Let us see your paraphrased paragraph.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Anderson and Paul said that looking for books with the same call number as unidentified reference maybe help in finding more information and details about the subject of your research.
Okay, very good. This is a very, let me say, concise and perfect attempt. Here you started your paraphrasing with those scientists. Yeah, would mention very good, very nice. You mentioned those who are behind this idea because you want just to emphasize this is their own opinion, and this is very good because here you are documenting piece of information, saying that this is according to them, according to their own opinion or their own view regarding using the references, or let me say, the way that you are going to tackle resources in the library. That's very fine. I thank you, Abdullah, for your own attempt. I believe that the ideas that are found in the original text is found, but it is reconstructed in the way that you emphasize who is saying these things.
Yes.
You are documenting what is to be mentioned. Thanks a lot, Abdullah. And with this, we are going to finalize. Sorry for all students who want just to participate, but you see now we are restricted by the time of the lecture. This is one. Second, we want just to say something for all students. It's about the exam. I wonder whether you are ready just to do the exam for this material. I don't know whether Murtada, the representative, Murtada, are you?
Mukhtar.
Yes, Sarah?
المختار
so it is not Murtada?
لا.
المختار is he available?
نعم دكتور السلام عليكم.
وعليكم السلام. So Mustafa, you are not the representative. Al-Mukhtar is the representative of the third year. Yep. Okay. So where is Al-Mukhtar? Al-Mukhtar available here? Where is Al-Mukhtar? Al-Mukhtar?
Mustafa instead of him. Al-Mukhtar.
Okay. Let us talk with you generally. And for the representative, he should contact me later. I believe that it's okay just to do the examination for the first 4 chapters that we tackled so far. So is it okay for you to do the exam next week? I mean next Thursday? Is that okay? Or do you have an exam?
We have an exam next week.
Doctor, we have 2
exams. Not only
I believe on Thursday you don't have only methods of research. You don't have any other lecture.
And another days we have an examinations.
So you are not ready. You are not ready to do it next week.
No.
So how about the week after the next?
Yes, doctor.
Yes. Doctor, we have the exam.
Yeah.
Okay. So if it is this way, we are going to examine for the first 4 chapters, chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4, only for the things that we tackled. You remember?
Yes.
We left things. These things are not to be required. And please, as I record the lectures totally, for students who are not having an idea about the material, please go to the recorded lectures and listen to them one by one, because some students may not recognize what is required and what is not. So what I want you just to rely only on the recorded lectures to discover what to be emphasized for the exam. And let me tell you that the exam will be electronic. What does it mean? It means it is not that difficult one. It will be true, false, and multiple choice only, as you did for the electronic exam in the final examination. So it is of 2 questions only. It is based on true, false, and multiple choice. So it doesn't need, let me say, much effort from you. It is only about the information that we tackle. So this is all about the examination. So is that okay for you or not? Just
it's okay.
Yes,
It is okay. Doctor. Thank you.
So what I need you just to be ready for the exam. If it is not next week, the week after the next. So try just to what be ready for the exam, and I'm going to be ready for your questions before the exam. Of course, next week we are going to tackle chapter 5, and it will not be included in the final examination. It will not be included. So in this case, we are going to tackle the chapter, and I'm going to be ready for your questions. So try to read if you can, and write some questions. These questions will be answered for the coming lecture before the exam. If you have any question, anything that you feel that it is difficult, anything that you feel that it needs explanation, we are going to tackle it, okay, for the coming lecture after we finish the new material. Is that okay for you? Okay. So please once again, I regularly send the recorded lectures. You see, each lecture is recorded, and students are having lectures all. Okay, so what is required is just to download it and to listen once again, because here what is tackled in the lecture will be required in the exam. So here you have to know that it is only one exam. We are not going to have many exams. It's only one exam. You have to know that the division of the marks, as we did in the previous years, or more specifically last year, we have 20 marks for the monthly exam. We have 10 marks for the presence. We have 10 marks for the assignments, and we have 10 marks for the oral exam. Oral exam will be done later. I'm going to give you an assignment for the oral exam, but you have to know that it is only one monthly exam. It will not be more than one exam, and that's why I'm emphasizing. You have to consider this, and you have to be ready for the exam, because it will not be repeated. Is it okay? Is it okay?
Yes,
But you have to know that it will be electronic. It is of 2 questions, multiple choice and true false. Got it? This is one. Second, the time of exam, it will be the time of the lecture. You see, unfortunately, some students are not attending the lecture in time, and this is not okay for the exam. When I say 8:30, I mean all students should exist in the, let me say, in the lecture. This is the time of the lecture. It will be the time of the exam. 8:30 means 8:30. Do not say that we are going to make the exam in another time. You know why? Because it is required to do the exam in the time of the lecture. This is not me. This is what is required from the university, from the college. So I'm not responsible to change the time, because you know that the lecture is monitored. You know, monitored.
Yes.
The university center, of computing or computer is monitoring our lecture. So if they are not, if they check, and if they find that we are not available, it means that there is something wrong, and I'm going to be blamed. You know, blamed. I'm going to be blamed
Yes, doctor.
because I'm not having my students in the time of the lecture. I know you may tell me that some students have problem with let me say attending the lecture in time, but believe me, this is out of my authority. Out of my authority, you know, it is not me to decide, because it is required to do the exam in the time of the lecture, not after.
Inshallah, we will be on time, doctor.
So here,
Yes.
this is I'm telling to tell all the students about this, okay? Because some students may complain. They say I can't. So this is not me to decide.
Doctor, can you tell us about the time within which we have to hand in the answers?
Well, when we say that it is true, false, and multiple choice, it means that it doesn't take time. So we are going to say 1 hour from 8:30 to 9:30. But if it needs, because you see now, well, I believe that it's 1 hour. I mean, it's okay because it is not a final examination. You know, it is a monthly exam.
Yes, exactly.
And even the items will not be just like the items of final examination. Of course, it will be a little bit, let me say, shorter. This is one. Second, you have to know that, I mean, your way of examination should be restricted, because if we are going to have, I mean, unlimited time, it means that students will not, I mean, answer depending on their own effort. It will give chances for students just what to see if they are going to be helped by others. And this, I'm not, of course, I'm sure of my students, but you see now, in order not to give chances for those who are going to depend on others on their own, let me say.
Yes, doctor. Yes, we understand.
So, of course, it will be okay for 1 or 2 students just to give extra time, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, okay? But it is not just to be unlimited. Because you see now, even our lecture is limited by time. It will not be open. This is my own, let me say, view for the exam. So is it okay now?
Is okay.
Yes.
Okay. So for the coming lecture, we are going to tackle chapter 5, plus, you know, plus our our discussion for the, let me say, the questions or things that you feel that it is difficult or need just to be re-explained.
Okay, Dr.
Thanks so much for you all for your participation, and we are going to meet next week. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
I'll appreciate you. Thank you very much.